So today we're going to talk about how you can be the best pet parent in 2024. Now, before we get started, one of my resolutions is actually to start drinking less wine and more healthy things. So I'm drinking just plain black coffee. I am totally just kidding. So I'm drinking a Cabernet, definitely not my resolution. Wine equals happiness, and that's not something I'm willing to give up. So let's talk about how we can make you the best pet parent in 2024. So number one, be a pet parent, not an owner. And I, regularly say like owner. What I mean by consider yourself a pet parent rather than an owner is a pet parent sees their dog for who they are and wants them to be their best selves. They're not trying to change them. They're not striving for control or perfection. They're not the client that's emailing me or texting me and saying, I want my dog to stop when I say stop. I want my dog to never do this. I want my dog to come every single time if I say come. I realize those are goals and those are hopes, but it's also really unrealistic to want that level of control over an animal that is a thinking and feeling personality. This is a creature with a soul. They have their own thoughts and ideas and things they want to do, and it doesn't always align with us. And this is no different than people. I mean, I used to be a Montessori teacher, but let's just say I was a child nanny. If I had a client contact me and say, listen, I want to make sure, I want my daughter to be a lawyer someday. So I need her to be like A+ on all her stuff. I need her, if I ask her to do something, I want her to do it within 10 seconds of me asking her to do it. I mean, think about how crazy it would be to put those expectations on a child or any human. And yet we look at dogs as ownership. And we want our dogs to be perfect and do what we say, when we say it. And I honestly just don't feel like that's realistic or fair to them at all. So I would like you to strive to be a good parent in the new year, not an owner. And think of it like that. That little mind shift is going to change the whole way you interact with your dog and the expectations that you have. Number two, speaking of that, dogs are dogs. They aren't our children. And I know we do this whole fur baby thing. I've talked about it before. It drives me a little nuts, but they are dogs. And when we say things like, oh, they knew better. Oh, she knows that she's not supposed to do this. Or she looks guilty. Or, all these, oh, she looks so sad. I don't want to take my senior dog for a walk because the new puppy looks so sad and I can't walk them together because the puppy's too hyper. The puppy looks so sad. The puppy's fine. The puppy is not a human. Now, I'm not saying they don't have moments of sadness. I'm not saying they don't have moments of feeling, knowing they did something wrong. I'm not trying to give a blanket statement. What I'm saying is we over-personify them. We over-humanize them. We are doing a ton of projection onto them, and we need to remember they are not humans, they are dogs. I know we do, again, the fur baby thing, but they are dogs. And just recognizing that and not overly humanizing them, it's all about being fair to your dog, and it will enable you to be the best parent you can be if you don't forget the fact that they are dogs at the end of the day. And number three is management is training. Utilizing management techniques is training, just like active training is training. So here's an example. Clients contacts me. I don't want my dog to jump on people when they come in the door. Well, your dog jumps on people when they come in the door because they're extremely excited somebody new just came into the door. So maybe you just put them behind a baby gate, give it 5 or 10 minutes, and then the dog is much more calm because for at least 5 or 10 minutes, they're used to the person being in the home. Then you let them out of the baby gate and they don't jump on the person. Or you redirect them with a toy or something they can take that energy and put it on. I mean, there's so many things. Or here's another really good one, resource guarding, dog-to-dog resource guarding. So, my dogs get into it sometimes at feeding time, one finishes before the other, then the other dog will go over and try to lick the bowl, and then they get into an altercation. That is not a training moment. That's a management moment. That is a feed them separately where they cannot get to each other until the food is completely gone and the bowls are picked up. So ask yourself, is this a management moment or is this a training moment? Some things are management, and utilize that. It is you being a good pet parent. It is you being a good trainer to utilize management techniques. So I'm going to go over those again, because I really think, like, I know you guys, if you're watching this video, you want to be the best pet parent out there, and I know that. So here's the 3 tips again that will help you become the best pet parent in 2024. Number 1, be a pet parent, not an owner. Don't, you're trying to guide them through the world. You're trying to teach them. We're not trying to control them. Number 2, dogs are dogs. They are not humans. Try not to over personify dogs. It's really unfair to them. And number 3, management is training. Management is training. It's training just like active training is. So, using baby gates or have your dog on leash or whatever, creative management technique you can come up with for certain issues might just well be the answer, instead of just, butting heads in a situation or creating more chaotic situations, or enabling your dog to practice a behavior over and over that you're actually wanting to extinguish in the end. So I hope those tips help you. I hope you have a wonderful new year, and I will see you guys in 2024. Happy training, happy drinking.